What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premzy TV. It's that
Yes, mate.
time. Man had to return. You get me? And we've come back with
Mm.
30 mins Arsenal. I'm here with my guy Harry. What you telling me, bro? You good?
Oh, I'm doing good, but it's so good to see your face, man. Obviously you've been having a fantastic time, refreshing your body, soul, and your precious ones. But so good to see you, and just let's dive in, mate. Let's dive in. How are you doing? You doing all right?
I appreciate it. I've missed it myself, but now I'm good. I'm
Uh,
good. Obviously, for people that don't know, I've had a little one. He's about 5, 6 weeks now, so it's still
mm,
early doors. I just needed to take that time to really
it's
invest
cool.
and bond, and
It's cool,
it's the
mate.
most important thing. Family first over everything. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
mm,
So
mm, mm, mm.
yeah, now it's time to crack on, man. I think a lot of
Yes.
people have been messaging me on Insta in regards to wanting to know my opinion on the club and what we've
Mm.
been doing in recent times. Obviously, probably a bit more when we was fucking up and dropping points consecutively. I was getting a lot more messages. But look, we're
Yeah,
here
that
now. We're back.
Christmas season. Mm.
We're back now, but so make sure you man are liking the video, subscribing to the channel. We're
Mm.
back now. We're going to be uploading regularly as well. But look, there's one thing I want to dive into straight away, Harry. Yeah,
Right?
because Kylian Mbappe is on everyone's lips at the moment. You get me? Obviously, there's been talks that he's potentially interested in a move to Arsenal. First of all, I just want to get your thoughts on this rumor of Mbappe
Yeah.
potentially coming to Arsenal, or maybe interested in Arsenal, or maybe wanting to be the new Henry. Talk to me, man. Is it possible?
No, full on, 100%. No, thank you. We do not need an Mbappe inside our squad. We can't afford it. It's just unbelievable. Come on, guys, get real. Do we want Mbappe? No. You know what he's going to do to
We
this?
want Mbappe. We want Mbappe.
No! Hell no. No way, no way, no way. It's not just his wages, yeah, but I just can't see him blending in with this squad, with this young squad. We just got this good harmony. We've got good vibes. And each one of our players they've got like a good decoration inside the squad. So we haven't got like an Özil Aubameyang situation that we've eradicated. We don't need like a S class super world class player in the squad. No, no way, no way, no way. And
See,
despite the
see, I'm
fact
very different, Harry, because I look at it very differently, and I
mm,
understand to a certain degree of what you say in regards to the Ozil and the Aubameyang. But if you look at
mm,
them two players, Ozil for me, he kind of come to the Arsenal after he was past his best. Really, you get me. Real Madrid got the
mm,
best out of
mm,
him.
mm,
He come to Arsenal. He's still done okay. He still managed to get us that first FA Cup after coming in and stuff. But he was coming towards the end of his tether, and I think with Aubameyang as well. I think Dortmund got the best years out of him. Yeah, Arsenal managed to get some good years out of him as well.
mm,
But I think Mbappe's character is very different to both of them. And I think Mbappe is a proper professional and he wants to be the best in the world. And rightfully now, personally, to me, I think he's probably the best footballer in the world.
mm,
And if we
mm,
could bring somebody like that into Arsenal Football Club, that would take us from being potential title challengers to title favourites. And that's how good I think this guy is because we need a striker and he's 25 years of age. He's at the peak of his powers. If he come into a team like Arsenal, it would just take us to new heights. You got to think, I understand what you're talking about in regards
mm.
to obviously I'm dreaming here. People don't
Yeah,
think I'm taking it serious. I'm dreaming here, you get me?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
this is
obviously. Yeah.
where I believe Arsenal Football Club should be in it.
Mm,
Because when we move to the Emirates, we move to the Emirates to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich, compete with the likes of Real Madrid, compete with
mm,
the world powers in the sense of football. You get me? And really, have we done that? I don't think we have. I think lately we have been spending a bit of money under Arteta, and I think the Cronkies have pulled the finger out a little bit,
mm,
and maybe because they've got a bit more control that we're seeing this now in it. So we should be going in for these kind of players, especially if
mm.
we got one of the best young squads in the world. We add somebody into the team like that who can grab the game by the scruff of the neck, put the ball in the back of the net, deadly, bro. I would be willing to sacrifice players. Like I'll be looking at moving players on like Havertz. And I know it sounds bad, but I will be willing to sacrifice Jesus. We could
Mm,
potentially look
mm,
at
mm,
Jesus and say to Jesus, look, do you want to maybe head over to PSG? PSG are now, I think David Ornstein reported that Osman is probably going to be going over to PSG, and PSG are really interested in him now that the news has come out regards Mbappe. But I would be looking at PSG and saying, look, give us 60 mil for Jesus. Yeah. If we pay Mbappe, what, 50, pay Mbappe £1 million a week, what's that, 52 weeks? You get me? That covers his wages. I don't know. If we want to move like a big club, sometimes we've got to rejig things about. And I know that people are going to be looking at it thinking it's going to shatter our wage structure, but there's no fee for this guy. If we can move on some players and accommodate that money around Mbappe, you got to think about the money this guy's going to bring in through shirt sales, revenues, sponsorships.
Of course.
Mad, bro.
Yeah,
So
I get your point. But it's something up there in the clouds, mate. I just cannot see it happening. But I do understand your point that we need to be bringing in a major S-class, world-class player in order to take us to a next phase of Arteta's project. My big concern is not kind of Mbappe or who we're going to bringing in the summer right now. I'm just kind of changing the subject. Is we need to have our injured players ASAP back into the squad and doing what they need to be doing, which is playing regularly. We've been on a good form ever since. I don't know what they did out in Dubai and what they're drinking and what they had to eat, but obviously we look 10 times better than what was happening in Christmas. Now, with the Champions League coming back into play, and they're going to be like 2 games a week or so. You know what's going to happen to the squad? It's going to start to get stretched, right? And we've got good vibes. We've got a good flow approaching. But as soon as that Porto game starts getting put into play, which it was fairly soon, man, I really need Jesus, Partey, and Tomiyasu's got like a calf problem again. But hopefully he should be back too. Smith Rowe, I don't know what he did in training, but he turned an ankle, if I may say correctly.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, this is the thing that's been bugging me over the last couple of days. Mbappe, whoa. I dream for like a monster player like Henry, like the shirt sales. But that's not something.
Just imagine Mbappe at Arsenal, number 14. Madness. Madness. That's a madness. And you know what you're getting with him. But look, obviously, we all know he's probably going to Real Madrid, and that's where he's probably going to be going. But say Real Madrid can't afford him because they've had some financial issues. They might need to move some players on in order to bring him in. But Real Madrid, one way or another, they'll find a way to get him in.
Of course.
I think even if it means them, you know what these Spanish teams are like. They're dodgy, in it. It's simple as that. They're dodgy, in it. That's what they are. They're dodgy, and they'll figure a way out. But look, if he was to come to the Premier League, I think Manchester City probably be the only team that could really financially afford him. But would they go in for him? I don't think they will now. They got Haaland. If they had a Haaland and an Mbappe, that is just taking the absolute piss in it. So I don't think that's going to happen. With Liverpool, he would probably go to Liverpool if that was like one of his options. But can they afford him? I don't think they could.
No, and he's already leaving too, and not a chance that anybody like Mbappe would join.
But if you could cover that first year, Harry, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Like, if we could sell a few players, yeah, and accommodate that money just to fully pay out for Mbappe for a first full year, after that year, I'm telling you, this guy will definitely deliver you some silverware with this team that we got now. He's that good. He will take us to the next level. He will pay for himself for the remainder of the years and the year that he's just put in through endorsements, through everything that he's going to be providing. If we think shirt sales like that Arsenal have put in the past have gone through the roof, this guy will come in and take it to a different level. And he's that kind of guy. And it's like when Beckham gone to Real Madrid. It's all of these kind of the things. Obviously, we're dreaming. But if something like that could happen and pull through at Arsenal, wow, what it would do for us, it would give us a brand new fan base as well. You get me? There's going to be people and millions of people that are following Mbappe that will just switch on and look at Arsenal and think, right, okay, more heads are going to be turned, more money. If you look at the owners as well, the Cronkies, this is what they were on as well over there. They managed to win the Super Bowl. Now it's time for Arsenal to shine, in my honest opinion. But I do get you, Harry, in it. But you're scared of him coming in and messing things up with him being such a big player. Other players looking at him thinking, well, he's on this much money. I need to be on this kind of money. But I think players would have respect for him and for what he is. Do you not think that?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But another factor that I think about Arsenal right now is our captain. Of course, Martin Odegaard's doing a fantastic job. Yeah, but my kind of definition of a real kind of Premiership captain is your Patrick Vieira's, and you got your Roy Keane's. You know, somebody who just shits on everyone's faces when shit actually hits the fan. It's a squad management, the controlling, the vibe. You know, I can't see Martin Odegaard kind of shaping things up in the way that Granit Xhaka did, because I thought Granit Xhaka was a true kind of captain of the team, especially last season. Well, you know, teams grow. You know, the position of Declan Rice and being the heart of the team and being vocal out there could possibly kind of hold Mbappe to a good kind of mental position. But yeah, maybe I'm chickening out on this whole situation, but yeah, I'm not.
All right then. Let's move on from Mbappe in it,
Yeah,
because look, that is dreamland in it. I think
yeah.
I had to speak about it because as an Arsenal fan, I would love the law of attraction for
Oh,
all us Arsenal
totally,
fans to
mate.
speak about it and him come to our club in it, because that would be
Mm.
absolutely
Imagine what he would be
be.
able to do to all those fans out there in East Asia or in Africa or in even in South America. There would this pure meaning of this would just go on to a next level, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
100%, 100%, definitely. I'm telling you now, we're dreaming, but it is what
Yes.
it is, isn't it? But look, let's obviously move on from Mbappe in it, because
Okay.
we can dream about that. But look, Declan Rice now, next season,
Oh,
should he be our captain?
oh, this is the big question. It's a big question, but I think the team. You know, I do understand that Declan Rice seems like more of a captain, and the way he kind of just manages to do what he's best at doing, just tackling everyone and popping his head in and out. But as a captain, I just would stick with Martin because he's just kind of managed to kind of develop his personality over the last couple of years, especially
Mm,
um, after Christmas too. I just see him, and he's just such a good leader when it comes to putting the press in and being vocally in there. Yeah, when really things start to go pear shaped, is that's when a true captain needs to show his true colors. Have we managed to have a situation like that this season so far? Maybe in Christmas. But I'm cool to stick with Martin Odegaard. What about yourself?
Personally,
Yeah.
I would want Declan Rice to be the captain.
Mm,
And I know it can be, you can look back at it and think, oh, it's a bit harsh on Odegaard. But to be honest, I'm a harsh guy. And I look at
yeah.
Odegaard and I don't really see captain material, because look, we do sing the boys' praises when they've done well. But the bottom line of it is we haven't won fuck all significant for the last
Mm,
20 years. Do you know what I mean, Harry?
mm,
So I need a captain where people are going to look up to him and who's going to boss and who's not going to go missing in certain games and who's going to be ever present. And I know Martin Odegaard, technically, he's a little magician, but he can have tendencies to go missing in games. And it's not just once, it's not twice, 3, 4 times. I see Declan Rice more of a leader, more of a commander on the pitch. And I think if Martin Odegaard was a true leader, I think he would look at it and think, you know what? And he was a true team player. He might look at him himself and think, you know what, Declan Rice is probably the better leader, and he might not mind giving it up. But I think if Declan Rice got the armband, I think it will push Declan Rice onto another level with Arsenal.
mm,
I think it'll make him feel loved. It'll give him that, he does feel loved already, but it'll give him that extra responsibility. And games are won in the middle of the park. How
mm.
Declan Rice bosses the middle of the park when he's on it, he's on it. And the link up between him, Gabriel, and Saliba is second to none. We must keep that fit all
Mm.
season because it's so pivotal to our defensive structure.
Yep.
So I would give it him. I would give it him. You get me? I'd probably
Mm.
make Odegaard vice captain, but I'd look at Declan Rice and what this guy's done in such a short space of time at Arsenal
Yeah.
is magnificent. And
Mm.
yeah, we haven't won anything yet, and we can't, obviously we're not hailing anyone as legends and this, that, and the other. But for 105 million, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, coming over from West Ham to another London team, the guys lived up to it. And what a
Yeah.
finish against West Ham as well, man! What an
Oof.
absolute finish!
Belter.
What a finish.
30
Let's touch
yards.
on West Ham.
Yep.
Go on,
What
let's
did I
touch
think?
on West Ham.
Okay,
Let's touch
okay,
on
okay.
West Ham.
You know, I was thinking it was going to be a difficult game, right? Coming out of Liverpool, the worst thing that could have happened is having that amazing quality victory against Liverpool. We go down over to West Ham and we get like a 2-2 draw or something. We know, we remember hard what happened last season. Obviously, this season they beat us twice. But we remember that when we had that 2-0 lead and we were singing, you know, oh yes, here we go again. This is quality. And then Saka misses that penalty. Several characters in the 6-0 hammering of the Hammers lived up to their status and brought out the goods, man. Saka with the penalty, you know, it's not just him. Ben White. What has happened to Ben White since coming back from Dubai? Did you see him? He was inverting in and out. He was doing the overlap, you know, and then we had Kivior on the other side, not doing the Zinchenko style of play. So it allowed Kivior to do what he's good at doing, which is like, you know, not a traditional left back, but kind of like a more centre back-ish left back, just sits back and does what he's needed, you know. But I thought Ben White had a really quality game. A lot of us had decent games.
Not good enough for me, Kivior, to be honest. And I'm not trying to hate on him. And like, if I'm picking at things like, obviously, was it Kivior who scored an own goal against West Ham? Was it that scored? Ben White? Was it that
He
scored
scored
the
an
goal?
own goal a couple of
No, that was Ben White. I think that was. I can't remember who it was, but anyway, if I'm picking at Kivior, I think in the first half, Kudos he picked his pocket too easy, and he ran at us. I don't know if you remember that in the first half. He picked his pocket. He ran at us, and I think that's where he'll be a liability for us at left back. At centre back, yeah, maybe I need to see more of him to think it. But at left back, bro, we can't be playing Kivior at left back.
Of course, and I totally understood, but we just had no one else there, you know. No Zinchenko, no Tomiyasu, obviously Tierney's in Sociedad, you know. But I think we managed the game well. And just seeing Ben White kind of revitalized, you know, because he looked proper shattered back in December. A lot of our players look shattered. And this is the big difference between Arsenal and a Man City or a Liverpool, because you see Liverpool with their you know 17 or 18-year-olds coming through the ranks. It was good to see Noneri come onto the pitch and kind of orchestrate himself around like Jack Wilshere. But for example, Cedric Suarez coming on, I'm like, come on, man, you know, we want to see a bit of Walters, whatnot, you know. And that's,
do you know what I want to see that as well? You bang on. I want to see some of the younger lads come on. But what a performance from the boys, man! What a performance from the boys. You got to give Arteta credit. He's managed to work some wonders away on that little break, because we have come back looking like a new team, and it was a matter of time a team was going to get a pasting of us. I'll tell you that much for free, though. Like in recent weeks, like even when we did lose or when we did drop points, we were pasting teams and we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, and then we end up getting it. Do you know what I mean? So now moving forward, though, Burnley, very important game. We got to be trying to continue this form, because I think is it right to say we haven't won more than 4 or 5 games straight in the Premier League? I think we need to turn that over, turn it on its head if we want to be winning this league, or at least going toe to toe right to the end with Liverpool and City. Because my honest opinion, I don't think we're going to win the league. Obviously, I'd love us to win the league, and if we do, I'll be fucking ecstatic. But I just don't think we've got a fully complete squad to win the league just yet, to go over the whole period. But if we could just keep up there and keep up to the pace with it, who knows what can happen in it. Liverpool still got to play City. We still got to play City. Football, anything can happen in it. We just got to just stay in and around. So Burnley is a massive game as well.
Burnley is a massive game. And here's a question for you, Premsy. You know, Trossard playing well of late. If Gabriel Jesus does make it back, would you put Jesus back in the team and take Trossard out, or would you keep with Trossard?
It depends how fit Jesus is. If Jesus is fully fit, then I'd probably put him straight into the team. If he's not fit, then maybe I'll start with Trossard and look to bring him on. But it's going to be a difficult game against Burnley. I don't think it's going to be easy. They're going to try to get themselves in and around us and stuff. And we're going to have to basically pick the pocket, aren't we? Because we're going to have most of the ball. They're going to be sitting back. Well, I'm guessing they're going to be sitting back unless they've got a different kind of strategy up their plan, because most teams that do play against us are hitting us on the counter. So
Mm.
we've got to stay switched on. I think Gabriel's been immense in
Oh,
recent games, absolutely
wow.
immense. And I don't think he gets spoke about enough, man. I think there's a
Mm.
lot of hype around Saliba, which there should be. And I think William Saliba has brought the best out of Gabriel. I think that partnership, if we could keep that solid for a few years, bro, we're going to be in a good
Yep.
place when it comes defensively. I still think goalkeeper wise, we're a bit shaky though. If I'm being honest with you, moving forward.
Yes, this situation, like I see Ramsdale kind of bantering after the game finished and kind of congratulating his fellow players. And there's a bit of sadness in the soul up there. I think Rayo's been doing well of late, but he hasn't been like tested. And when the shit hits the fan and the crosses come bombing down, can you trust Raya to deliver? I'd much rather a Ramsdale to be in there. But you've seen the passage of play when Raya collects the ball and he just like
Yeah,
lobs
for the
it out.
goal.
Yeah. And I see something good. And that's what we've been wanting him to do. But what you want in a keeper is absolute domination of not
Yeah,
just
we like a
but,
Manuel Neuer in it. Like when I used to see Manuel Neuer, and I used to think,
yeah.
boy, get me Oliver Kahn, all these kind of goalkeepers that
Yeah,
were
but you need
on a different level.
a massive character who's not scared of shouting down at his defense.
Do you know what it is though? Now, most of them characters that would do that, for example, like the Oliver Kahns,
Mm,
like the noise, all of them kind of goalkeepers, like even the Laymans, they weren't very technical with their feet. You know what I mean?
no.
They were a big presence. Sweeper keepers would run out. They would do what they're doing, make good saves, but they were never really technical. The game's moved on from that now, and I don't think
Mm,
the players that are like the Raya and stuff, I don't think they're the shouters. I just think, you know what I mean? I don't think they've got that in their
mm,
locker. I haven't seen many of them that are good
mm,
with their feet and screaming their head off. Do you know what I'm saying?
mm.
It's a rarity. It's a rarity.
Yeah.
It's a rarity. But look, Harry, I have to talk on it. Obviously, 30 minutes Arsenal. We're going to be wrapping it up very shortly as well.
Okay.
First show back. But obviously, I don't know whether you've seen Rio Ferdinand talking about Foden and
Oh, the
Saka,
Saka situation.
the Saka
For God's
situation.
sake. What did Rio
Talk to
say?
me, man.
Did Rio say what?
Basically,
He's not world class. Are those exactly his words? There was something else,
bas-
wasn't it?
he said Foden's world class, but Saka's not world class. He has the potential to be world class, but he's not. What's your whole thought process on the whole Foden Saka situation
Okay,
with that?
no. It's very easy to compare Bukayo Saka with Phil Foden because they play effectively in the same position, right wing for club and for country. But if you just look at what Saka has gone through since coming up and joining Arsenal, since he was a kid, I think he was 7 years old, and coming up through the ranks, playing left back for a shit team. Well, we were like 8th, 9th, or 10th when he broke into the first team back in 2018 or 19, right? Squad number 77 comes on, plays left back. Then he goes into Europa League, scores that belter against Frankfurt, if I remember correctly. Mate, this is you can't compare these two players because one guy, Bukayo, is just you remember him tweeting that tweet saying that Arsenal fans don't deserve this, right? When
Yeah.
the club was in disarray. It was single-handedly, but the pressure that he's been kind of having on his shoulders, on his back, trying to get this team into like normality, going out of 10th or 9th or 8th in the.
So do you think he's world class then? Do you think Saka's world class?
If you ask me, is he world class right now? I wouldn't say he's top world class, but he is getting there and he will get there. You can't say he's up there.
Do you think Foden's world class?
No, I don't. I
Right,
don't
okay,
think
so
Foden.
you don't think either.
I don't
I'm
think
with
both
you.
of them are the super top S class. Like, who would you describe as a world class winger right now in the world?
Yeah, I would
Who?
probably look at Vinicius Junior at
Vinicius
Real
Junior.
Madrid.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah.
And obviously, depending where Mbappe wants to play on the day,
Totally.
if he wants to play up front and that.
Yeah.
There's a few. Obviously, there's world class. It gets thrown around too much. You get me? When we were growing up, you knew who were world class. You get me?
Yeah.
When you were looking at Ronaldinho, you knew that was world class. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? In this day and age, you have top players that potentially can be world class. You have the odd few players like Mbappe and that world class, Ronaldo and Messi we've seen over recent periods, but you can't just throw everybody in the Ronaldo or Messi category. I wouldn't even throw Mbappe in that category. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's got the potential if he carries on, but I wouldn't throw him in that category. We've seen
No,
great
not yet.
strikers come to the Premier League, but in my honest opinion, we've not seen anyone as great as Thierry Henry. Do you know what I mean? You knew what was world class when you seen
Yeah.
it. And with me, Foden and Saka, I don't think they're world class. I think they're top talents,
Yeah.
potential to be world class, and I think they will go on to be world class. I don't think they're world class yet. If you're asking me who would I pick out of the two, Saka or Foden, yeah, I have got a little bit of an Arsenal bias. I would go for Saka, and that's just because I think Saka's more consistent. Yeah, Saka, even through bad periods where he doesn't look like he's performing, he'll still pick up goals and assists. I think Foden, people are going to be looking at how many Premier Leagues and stuff like that he's won, but I think it's kind of false because I don't think Foden played major parts in some of them trophies at the time or some of them years. Yeah, fantastic player. He did obviously win a treble and a three-peat last season, and you got to take your hat off to him. But look, I think there's other players in that City team that are a lot more vital to that City team than Foden. Saka, I think if you take Saka out of that team, the detriment is massive. I think if for England, Saka's always got the nod ahead of certain players, maybe Foden even, because Foden can play on that right-hand side as well. And Saka, as England Player of the Year twice, I think, scored quite a few goals in the Euros. You got to give Saka his props, and I would take him all day long. Man.
Number of minutes Bukayo Saka has been playing in comparison is just insane. The amount of times he's been like wiped off the pitch with horrible tackles, but then he bounces back. He's a machine, and we need to be able to protect him too. But squad rotation is something that City does masterfully, and we need to be able to do that eventually, because otherwise we're going to burn out big time.
Fucking 110%, definitely that. But people, Harry, it's been a pleasure. I just want to say thank you very much for coming on. Obviously, we're always going to have this Arsenal relationship anyway from overseas. When you come over, we'll go to get to the games and stuff. But people in the comments, people that are watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video. It is totally free. And we'll see you back soon. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping a lot more content now. Peace and love.